Pasa que yo le veo muchos programas de televisión de cómo están las bodas, cómo están las cosas. Como yo está viendo un pluma de burro ahí, yo no lo sé. Pero,
Welcome to the Welcome to the Feminist Tea Party, you guys. Today we are drinking wine tea, basically. It's a Sonoma Chardonnay iced tea.
I don't taste any sort of wine.
I mean, I don't think we brewed it very well because mine tastes like soap. Let's talk about our t-shirts.
Tees and boobs and shirts. I found these at this like random discounted store. I saw it and I was like, I needed to get this. Like
T-shirts.
In an episode coming up, I'm actually going to show you guys how to actually make your own.
So, starting off with pretty good news. We have been keeping track of the SCOTUS case, the Supreme Court case on abortion in Texas. It was called the Whole Woman's Health v. Hellerstedt. It's been going on since about March. End of June, we were expecting a decision and we got it. And I, for one, am quite happy with it.
Yes.
Just to backtrack on it, there were two provisions that had to be decided upon. A list of structural
Like demands and prerequisites that these clinics needed to follow in order for them to provide abortions, but they were ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like things down to like the millimeter and stuff that really wouldn't affect the quality of the care that the women would be getting. And another one was that the doctors had to obtain admitting privileges from a hospital 30 miles from the clinic where the abortion was going to be performed. It was voted majority 5-3 against Texas.
Yes.
Basically saying that these clinics would stay open.
The reasoning behind this whole, cutting away abortion, a lot of them seem to be connected to morale.
I loved the arguments that the women were making. They were taking down this damn case. They made the argument that like women were gonna have to travel super far to like get the abortion, and somebody on the opposing side where they were like, well, they can go to New Mexico if the Texas clinic is too far. But these clinics in New Mexico do not have like these lists of specifications that they want the Texas clinics to have. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Ginsburg was like, okay, so you're telling us that you want these women to go cross over to New Mexico where they don't have these specifications.
But you
so
want
clearly,
specifications here.
Yeah, so it's like, so you're saying that the New Mexico clinics are fine. If they're fine, why can't the Texas clinics be fine as well?
Yeah, these specifications were there, put in place, but they were more of like a way to like prevent abortion from happening. Like it wasn't like, oh, these will be making the women safer or anything like that. It was more to get their belief and their point across. It wasn't just, it had nothing to do with women's health, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Tennessee and Mississippi as well.
I was gonna say Mississippi, yeah.
Had similar cases pending, and SCOTUS also said, fuck that. Women's health is important, and women should have the right to their bodies, and they shouldn't have to travel 200 fucking miles just to like get this kind of help. And this is not like, oh, we should have an abortion clinic at every corner like a bodega or a Starbucks, but it should be at a well enough distance. Especially you were talking about people who might not even have the money to
travel. Like they also don't just offer abortions; it's just women's health.
Yeah,
in general. But then because of this particular law, they could have been shut down.
Also,
all together,
which. Just okay.
I think something good happened.
Yeah.
I'll give them a cookie.
I wonder what Scalia says. Scalia's probably like pissed, rolling in his damn grave. Good. Moving on to also good news related to women's health. The NYC Council, we're New Yorkers, they decided to implement making pads and tampons available for free in public schools, homeless shelters, and jails.
For me in school, I got them from the nurse office. you know.
You got them from the nurse office, so
But
you
not-
had to stop at the nurse office first.
Yes.
Then go to the bathroom, and then get back to class.
Yes, I needed to go and explain, and then the ones that they had, they were always like this like medical ones that they were just like.
Oh yeah.
And then they could show. I don't know. They were just like, for a teenager, I was just like, no. For me, the jail thing was very surprising because I would have thought that. So like, if they don't have money or they don't have anybody to give them the money to pay for it, then what do they
It's like
do?
use a sock or water.
Are we like
toilet
barbarians?
papers.
No, like we, you know.
Well, it's a patriarchy, Maggie. So great, good for you, New York. Now, those were positives, and now we're gonna talk about something that's a little bit, not a little bit, it's fucking scary. In the Bronx, there has been, and we've been kind of talking about this back and forth for the past couple of months, there has been a bit of a spike in missing people. There is a news story that's disturbing that's been out saying there's several Bronx teenage girls that are missing, and it's feared that they might have been taken and sold into prostitution, which is really scary because when you think of that stuff, you don't really think that it happens in your own backyard. You're like, oh, that happens in the desert where they shove girls in like the back of trucks and then they sell them to like whomever, or that happens in other countries. But no, it might be happening here. There's no like confirmation. Nobody really knows where these girls are, but that is a fear that might be happening.
Remember that campaign, Say Her Name?
Yeah.
This reminds me of that in terms of saying that women or women's lives, I feel, are not as reported when they go missing or when there's like an issue, because with the Say Her Name campaign, they were these women that are also killed or hurt by the police and were not reported. This also reminds me of the fact that Native American young girls who they go missing and no one says anything or reports them. I don't know, it brings me back to like what you said, like it happens in my own backyard.
I mean, at this point, we can just hope that they're okay, and what's important is to get the word out. You don't really hear about this stuff. You don't really see it on the news unless it's like Univision or News 12, the Bronx, you know, like in your immediate neighborhood. So we're gonna put the link in the info section. You guys can check out the pictures and see if maybe you have come across them. Share it. Hopefully maybe some of these girls that we can find, and if it is something bigger that's happening, that we can stop it.
Just be careful out there, and also try to find a self-defense class. I think it's very important for even young girls as young as like 9 or 10 years old. We are living in a very dangerous place right now.
If any young girls are watching this, y'all need to make sure about your surroundings. Especially if it's in the dark and you're walking by yourself, you should not have music on. You should be hyper aware of what's going on. Everybody knows about, you know, having your keys in your hand as self-defense. Anything that you can use in your bag. A pen, an umbrella, anything that you can just like knock somebody out, hit them in the face, hit them in the head, hit them in the crotch, hit them in the tits if it's a woman, because I mean, you never know. Just like be hyper aware of your surroundings, especially like if this is going on. This is not like, oh, it'll never happen to me. You never know.
I always, when I come home and it's later in the when it's dark, I call, like when I get off the bus, I call my mom or whomever's at home, and either I talk to them until I get off, or I also talk to people when I'm on a taxi. That way that the taxi driver knows somebody's responsible for me, and they know that I'm in a taxi, especially at night. These white vans or like these cars, and they may just snatch me. I always walk in the middle of the street, and then when a car comes, I just move a little over. I always also feel safer in the middle of the street because I feel like I have more direction to spread out, to go to.
All right, so ladies, girls, boys as well, because it also happens to boys and men. Stay safe, watch out for your surroundings, and don't be stupid. Just like be smart about where you're going and who you're going with. I know we sound like our mothers, But it's like, this is a real issue, and like, it's not to like scare you guys and like don't go anywhere, but just to be aware of what you're doing and where you're going, and to know like this is going on in the world. So, all right, highlights.
Yes,
Your favorite part.
Yes. It was my first time going to the Pride Parade. I mean, I had a blast.
This was expected to be one of the biggest Pride parades in New York City in recent years, especially because of what happened in Orlando. People showed up and showed out to show support. We saw a bunch of New York support to Orlando. A lot of people had several Orlando signs in the crowd. We were actually walking in the parade, so we didn't see so much of the actual parade, but it was interesting to even see the audiences and how they were showing out and showing their support.
I would love to go next year. I cannot believe that I live in New York and I've never been to the parade. I don't know, I just felt like everybody was just like free. I just got like a great vibe, great energy. We got to sing, we got to dance. It was great.
Happy Pride. Oh, we're in July, but still, you know what?
Still, it's Pride all year round.
It's Pride all year round.
Did you hear about the heterosexual Pride Day, like that thing?
Oh,
I was like, oh my god, this is just.
You know, it was great when you went on Twitter and you clicked on the hashtag. It was a bunch of people shutting it down, rightfully so.
Who came up with this?
Probably some like scorned white cis man who was like,
I don't have a holiday. I don't have a women's holiday. I don't have you know, like, that's when they were
it's all about the blacks and the Latinos and the gays, and where's my day, except that your day is every fucking day of the year, pretty much. So, too bad for you, but I'm sorry. It's like the first time I haven't been drinking my tea throughout the stuff. Yeah.
Still tastes like pineapples to me.
No. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers. It's been swell. Au revoir. Till next week. Make sure you watch out for our t-shirt episode. It's coming soon. Cool.